Hello, hello. Today's class, we will learn a little bit about warm-ups. So we have Hannon. Hannon is a warm-up series that I've learned ever since I was 4 years old. So Hannon is definitely one of the best ways to strengthen your fingers and a great way to warm up so you don't hurt yourself when you practice your pieces. I have selected a couple of Hannon pieces that may be helpful for you, starting with the first one. So if you are a beginner to practicing, you definitely want to practice one hand at a time in the beginning. So let's just start with the first one. And then it goes descending. So I recommend that you do it one hand at a time and then combine them two. But for the beginning, I remember the first things that I did for a very long time, maybe for a whole year, I just did it one hand at a time. And then when I got a little bit more advanced, I combined the hands together. And so on. So definitely it's not the most fun thing to practice, but it is the core idea of how you can strengthen your fingers when you're practicing and playing the piano. I remember that, so I have some recommendations on which ones you should practice. I remember 12 was definitely one of the harder ones, 13 definitely, because they're working on the 3, 4, and 5. When you get used to learning Hannon, you definitely want to focus on your fingertip skills. There's a lot of pianists who play with the noodle fingers, and those really are not good for when you play difficult, fast pieces. So when you want to practice Hannon, you want to make sure that your hands are curved, and essentially you're using your fingertips, especially the pinkies, because the pinkies are especially important in melody lines when you're playing difficult pieces in the future. So like... So yeah, this is essentially what I did for a very long time, and then after a while I stopped doing Hannon because I didn't have much time for warm-ups, but I think I was at a level where my finger strength was strong enough to just go on to the music itself. Some professors and teachers may not agree with this, but this is from my own experience, and it depends on the pianist itself, themselves to judge. I remember my favorite one, I don't even know, 60 is so hard. Like I would not recommend doing 60 until you've done many of the other exercises. There's one more thing I would like to mention. So when I played the Hannon, I remember that scales were very, very, very important. Arpeggios and scales and chromatic scales really developed my sense of how to play fast pieces, especially in Chopin when I was in 2nd to 3rd grade. I think that was really how I picked up pieces more quickly, and that definitely helped support my my skills. So I also have perfect pitch. If you know what that means, it means that you essentially have the ability to hear a note and identify it. So if I just close my eyes and I went like, then I know that is a B flat, but some people don't. But I think people think you're born with it, but I don't think so. I think there is an ability to learn perfect pitch, and what I did essentially, this is one of my secrets, so thanks for subscribing to the membership, but this is essentially one of my the best ways to learn perfect pitch. Essentially from a very young age, I learned every single scale. Like every day I just go all the way up, and then and then all the way essentially I learned it so much that I knew what was the tune for each note, and I think that perfect pitch is a blessing and a curse, but for what I've known so far, I think perfect pitch does help many musicians on many different levels. So yeah, so I totally recommend getting Hannon. I think Hannon is extremely helpful if you're a beginner, and especially when you're trying to play more difficult pieces. So yeah, this is the first lesson, and I will start going on to the different, more classical pieces that are more fun to listen to. So I will see you in my next video. Thank you.